OneCouncil is the online portal for requisitions and purchase orders for the city of Kwinana. The process starts with creating a requisition, entering supplier and product details, including cost codes. Then submit for approval. Once approved, you will receive a notification that a purchase order is generated. You can now transmit this order to the supplier. After the item is delivered, process it as goods are received, either in full or in part if further items are expected. Here is the sequence again on a high level. Create a requisition, submit it for approval. You are notified of a purchase order. Transmit it to the supplier. Once the goods or service are delivered, approve it in the system. Launch My Requisitions from the Purchasing tab, or use Enterprise Search. Select Add, then create a blank requisition. First, we need to set up the general details. All the mandatory fields have a red asterisk. Use the advanced search so you can see the purchasing locations. The priority is for your approver, and this is not shown on the purchase order. GST is typically inclusive. Select Single Supplier Requisition. Then search for your supplier. The procurement policy is inbuilt into the system. Therefore, certain amounts require a number of quotes and other requirements are outlined in the fields below. By default, all requisitions are required to have comments to justify the purchase decision, even for purchases under $1,000. The alternative address is for delivery other than the purchasing location. Now add the items you wish to order. Select Add, then Ad hoc Request. This form is for a single item on the order, so you will need to fill this out for each item. Now for the item details. Notice there is a limit of characters. This can be a barcode or product number, or both. The comment field is for the approver and is not transferred to the purchase order. If this is a service, an amount is required and quantity is removed. Select the type of unit, and the cost is entered in the unit amount. If there is a contract with the supplier, it will automatically show here. Now assign the cost to the appropriate ledger and account. Select the ledger. Select from the following attributes to determine the account. Alternatively, you can use the global list in the Accounts tab. Select the GST rate. The cost is automatically transferred here. If the cost is to be split across other accounts, use the Tab key to add an extra record and fill in the details. Then adjust the amounts. Now the item is set up, select Save. The item is listed here. Select Edit to make changes, and for efficiency, if you need to enter more items, you can duplicate the existing ones and edit minimal changes in the new items. For your convenience, the natural view on the right provides a summary. The tabs on the left provide a breakdown to edit. Costings. Notice the costing summary shows the cost has been split. General and procurement details. Supplier details. Addresses including delivery instructions. This is a high-level summary of the workflow for the requisition and excludes the purchase order. Add photos or documents for reference for the products or service. And ensure supplier quotes are attached here. Now that everything is set up, submit for approval. Assign it to your supervisor or manager. Comments are optional. Notice the error: one of the mandatory fields is not completed. Complete the mandatory field and submit. It will now submit. Your manager will be notified by email and a task to action. If you need to make changes at this point, click the Action menu and then Recall. Make the changes and submit. After the requisition is reviewed and approved, it will show as completed and stamped as released in the natural view. More importantly, you will receive an email to transmit the auto-generated purchase order. The notification is also shown as a number in an orange circle on the My Purchase Orders function tile. Launch My Purchase Orders tile. Once loaded, take the time to review the order again to ensure the details are correct. There is the option to amend the order if changes are required. This would then need to be reviewed and approved by your line manager. The purchase order states on order. However, it needs to be sent to the supplier. Select the Action menu and then Transmit Order. A new page displays. Notice the transmission methods. This means the supplier is set up to receive purchase orders by email or hard copy. If required, the email address and printer can be edited for this order. And you can tick or untick, depending on how you want to transmit the order. You can also retransmit, and the preview stamps reprint. There is also a transmission history. In some instances, your line manager may already have transmitted the order, and you will know from the outset if the Action menu shows Retransmit Order instead of Transmit Order. Although we have transmitted the purchase order, the notification remains on the tile until all the items have been goods receipted. Prior to receiving the invoice, if you have received the goods or service and are satisfied, you can process it as goods received. Open the purchase order. Select Receive Order Lines. This launches My Goods Receipt, and you are taken directly into an auto-generated goods receipt for the purchase order. As there are multiple items, you can click Add for each item if they have all been delivered, or even modify the quantity for just one, to partially receive quantities for a single item. After selecting Add, the remaining items display with quantities updated. Go into the shopping trolley. Check your details again in the natural view. A goods receipt represents only the items or quantities received at this point in time. Therefore, outstanding items are goods receipted separately in the future. Select Approve. The workflow is now complete, and the entire end-to-end process can be checked off with the requisition, purchase order, and goods receipt. If only some of the items have been received, the purchase order shows partially received. Getting to know this system is done by understanding the workflow and the functions, my requisitions, my purchase orders, and my goods receipts. You can find further guides and tutorials by clicking here to the support page. And follow up with your supervisor directly for any queries. Look out for this sign, your friendly change champion is here to help, and log on to the hub for more updates on OneCouncil.